Good Monday morning, good Monday morning, good Monday morning. This is this is going to be short and brief, but welcome to the Shine Talk Show again. I know it's been about a week. My apologies. Been working like crazy. So I just wanted to pop in real quick. I actually had some things to say week. Last week I did. But before we get started, I'm gonna ask that you hit the like button. Hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So let this loud truck go by. So yeah. I had planned a couple shows last week, planned to come on a couple times, and just a lot happened and I wasn't able to get to it, but it is so much going on. 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 From the president to Shannon Sharp to Kanye, Earl Carter, Kojic, content creators beefing, Marvin Sapp closed the doors. Like, it's so much stuff going on. Now we got TD Jakes stepping down, losing business deals, and Target. Like, it's so much stuff going on. You got Leandria. Like, it's so much stuff going on. And as I was just preparing to go live and say so much, and then it dawned on me. None of this stuff that's going on is new. Shannon Sharp is not the first one to be gotten by a young YT girl. Leandria Johnson is not the first drunk or drinker that goes to church, that sings, that ministers. Marvin Sapp is not the first one to tell folks to lock the door. Well, I'm sorry, because I'm being like everybody else. He said, close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. That's what he said. Close the door. He's not the first pastor to tell the ushers to close the door at church. Earl Carter is not the first pastor to say crazy stuff in the pulpit. The president ain't the first bad president. Like, Deion Sanders' son is not the first young African American to be played to the left. Like, none of this stuff is new. But because we have social media now, everything is publicized. Everything is publicized. You think these are the first pastors to be accused of SAing a young girl or a young boy? You think Leandria is the first one who drinks and praises? They do it every Sunday. Jamal Bryant is not the first one to boycott. Like, none of this stuff that's going on is new. William, you're not the first person to expose a Kojic pastor or bishop or none of that. And that's no shade. People have been saying this stuff for years. All of it. All of it. The way church services are being ran now, it's not new. I've been to so many churches where when they lock the doors at offering time, I've been getting ready to head in during offering time and the doors are closed and locked. He's not the first one. None of this stuff is new. The only thing that we have now that we didn't have in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and the 50s and so on and so forth all the way back is social media. Instead of just the people inside of the church talking about it, now it's being video recorded and broadcasted. It's aired on social media. It's aired on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Those are millions and millions of people who are seeing things inside of the building that they've never seen before because they're not a part of that congregation. Yeah, Earl Carter was in GEI pulpit, but if you're not a member of GEI before social media or before streaming, you wouldn't know who was in the pulpit. If there was no streaming, nobody would have ever known about him really being in the pulpit except for people that went to GEI or that were affiliated. Stop. Leandria drinking again. Who was surprised by that? Because I wasn't. Leandria came in drinking. Leandria is trying to stop drinking for the people, not because she wants to. The people feel like Leandria, people not gonna like me. They don't like me no way, so let's continue. Leandria, when she's tired of drinking, she'll stop. Either one or two things are going to happen. Either she's going to stop willingly or she's going to be made to stop. But us constantly saying she need to be delivered, she need to go to rehab, she need to do this, she need to do that. When Leandria feels like she needs to do it and she wants to do it for herself, then she'll do it. She's not going to do it for us. We see that. Why do we keep expecting Leandria to stop drinking for us? Leandria doesn't see or doesn't feel like she has a problem. The people feels like she has a problem. The people feel like she shouldn't be ministering because she drinks. Until she came out and said herself what she liked to drink, she was still ministering drinking. And nobody said anything until she said, I like to drink tequila. Then it was, oh no, she shouldn't be allowed to be in pulpit. You know how many pulpits she done been in? If you never knew about what her vice was, nobody would ever have a problem. I said it. I said it. When Leandria feels like she wants to stop drinking, or she feels like it's bad for her health or her situation or her family, she not gonna do it. We on the outside looking in like, oh my God, these kids gotta, oh my God, these kids gotta. We don't know what them kids go through. We don't know what her family goes through. All we see are those snippets or times when she posts and it's like, oh my God, has she been arrested? Yes, several times. You know how many other people have been arrested from the church for drinking and it gets covered up? Nobody says anything. I know personally somebody who we used to have to get out of jail every Saturday so that they could be in church on Sunday morning. But how many people really know about that? When we get to the when we finally all get caught up and we get to God and he's the one who judges us, he ain't gonna ask me about Leandria, Marvin Sapp, Earl Carter, Bishop Sheard, the Clark sisters, Kanye. He not gonna ask me about none of that, because none of that is going to determine whether I get to the kingdom. And all of these people like, oh, I know they looking down. They not looking nowhere. The Bible says they are resting right now. So all of these, see, oh, it's a lot of scriptures and emotional stuff and stuff that's being said in church to get us on and make us scared. Ain't none of our family up in heaven looking down on nothing. Ain't none of our people up in heaven doing nothing. We are all waiting for the rapture. Ain't nobody up there. Ain't nobody singing up there. Ain't nobody walking up there. Ain't nobody talking up there. Ain't nobody shouting up there, because it ain't happened yet. We got to stop letting everything that people have said to us traditionally be, once we know the difference, become what we continue. The reason why church right now, I don't even know how I got here. The reason why right now church is in the stands that it is and it's being looked at the way that it is, again, I'm going to say, is social media, because none of this stuff is new. This ain't the first time gay folks been in the church. This ain't the first time gay folks been leading the church. This ain't the first time that gay folks been over the choir. This ain't the first time that a pastor been caught cheating. This ain't the first time that a pastor was in the bathhouse. This ain't the first time that a pastor cheated on his wife. This ain't the first time that a pastor got put out. This ain't the first time that a pastor then lost their church to bankruptcy. This ain't the first time that folks didn't been in the hospital. It ain't the first time. What we should have been doing a long time ago was making sure that when we became of age, where things that were going on that we've been talking about for years, because we've been talking about little kids being molested in the bathrooms and stuff at church and grooming in church. None of that stuff is new, and most of the people who have done it was done too. So what are we really doing? Yes, we're saved. Yes, we live for God. Yes, we fight our spirits every day. But what we also have to show people in order to bring them to Christ is, when you come to Christ, all of your feelings, they don't go away. Your urges, they don't go away. As a matter of fact, they intensify. You don't just stop talking to somebody. You don't stop drinking. You don't stop smoking. You don't just stop doing that. It's a daily thing that you have to work on. But when they see us doing the kind of stuff that's being done right now in the church, they don't even want to come. It ain't coming to church, it's coming to God. I don't know how I bottom line, ain't none of this stuff new. We're not the first people to be talking about it. We're not the first people to be talking about it. We're not the last people to be talking about it. You know how many people who are gone, passed on, who wish that these things had been brought to the forefront a long time ago? Instead of bashing the gay people and trying to get them delivered according to how you feel or your personal feelings, how about educating them on these younger people, educating them on protection? Because abstinence for most folks ain't it. I'm sick of people, and I'm gonna say this, I'm sick of you calling people bastards. Because the information that was just put out about you would make you want. See, some people will go off or down somebody for something because it's their personal life or it's their personal feelings. If you can give me 10 people that were raised in the house with a mother and a father married, give me 10. Give me 10. Because that's not everybody's life. There are more people in this world born out of wedlock, even though there was a marriage before you was born. Let that sink in. But it's a cover up. Well, if you get married before you start showing, then the people won't know. God already knew. What are we doing? Having people come up to the front of the church and apologize. For what? Like, it's so much other stuff going on. We talking about this kind of stuff. But meanwhile, it's little girls missing. It's little boys missing. There are women being abused. There are kids being abused. And we talking about this kind of stuff. Let's share these posts of these missing children. You're so big in your community. You're so known. Your platform is so big. Post some of these missing kids. Post some of these missing kids, content creators, since there's so much to talk about and everybody got so much content. Let's post these kids that's missing. Let's talk about these kids that are being abused. I've only seen the Zaya Harris case talked about on a handful of channels. The little girl body that they just found the other day before yesterday, I only seen one person talk about her. If somebody else had talked about her, maybe she could have been found alive. We know everything ain't working up there. We know this already. So nothing that he does should surprise us. We know church and denominations. It ain't just Kojic. We know all of this. Let's talk about these kids that's missing. Let's talk about these women that are being abused. Let's talk about these women that are getting pow just because they don't want to be with somebody no more. Let's find these people. There's 3 right now flyers going around on smaller pages of people who are hit and run victims. Let's post these people that are being looked for unaliving these people that were hit. I digress. I said all that to say this. There's so much more out here to talk about. We ain't got to be beefing and for what? Exposing people. We ain't exposing nobody. We may be exposing the person, but we're not exposing the situation, because it ain't the first, it ain't the last. And we got to be the first to tell the story. Let's be first to find these kids. Let's be first to make these predators pictures shown. Expose them. Exposing people from the pastor did. He ain't the first pastor and he ain't the last pastor. He could be. I gotta go. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not. Share if you feel so led. Hit the Cash App $ It's Sean 74 ITSSHUN 74. It's Sean 74. I hope you all have a blessed day. If I don't see you nowhere else this week, I hope you have a blessed week. On purpose. We gotta do better, y'all. We have these platforms for a reason. Beefing with each other is meaningless and stupid. Let's make a difference. Let's do different. Let's do different. Let's do different.